Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about things you hear. Basically, shit that you hear as a virgin, as someone who's waiting for marriage. Okay, I'm eating leftovers. Okay, so today I met this Catholic lady, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm 32. I'm waiting for marriage to have sex." And she's like, "You've never had intercourse?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "You're lying." I was like, "I'm not fucking lying, dude." Like, why would I lie about that? First of all, because it's not really like something you say to everyone. Why would I be lying about that? That's like so dumb. No, I'm not lying about it. Yes, I'm waiting till marriage, and like people don't talk about this because they're embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed about it because I do believe that God has the man for me. Okay? Okay. So, I'm trying to think. So so this is a shit I hear as someone who's waiting till marriage. I met this driver who's Armenian, and he was like, I've never met someone who's waiting till marriage. And he's Christian. So I'm like, okay. Like, okay. Okay. Most of the shit that I hear as someone who's never had intercourse is like, you're lying. You're lying. Oh, you're lying. And like someone's mom was like, she's lying. She's lying. You know what I mean? It's like, how did I get involved with your family? Like, first of all. And second of all, why would I lie about that? And third of all, you don't even know me. And fourth of all, you don't even know me. I talk about this very openly because I want to teach people that sex is not everything. If you don't have emotional connection, you don't have emotional development with people, with someone, like you're gonna have physical connection, but you're not gonna have intimacy, emotional intimacy. Like if you're not able to talk about your emotions with someone, like you're trying to replace that whatever you're feeling with physical gratification. And so I talk about it very, very openly because I feel like our society is overly sexual. And I talked to another Uber driver who's also Christian. He's like, honestly, I wish like I didn't have sex at such an early age because I wasn't very developed to have emotional connection with women. And here's the thing is like, instead of communicating, most people are just having sex. And like, that's what I want to teach people is like, do you know how to convey how you feel to people without just like, hey, I'm attracted, I'm gonna have sex with you right now? Most of us don't know how to communicate. We ghost, we disappear in the society, we literally just like, we don't talk, we have conflict, we avoid conflict. We live in a very emotionally immature society where like people are not feeling their emotions. They're just like trying to be logical, and they debate about logic and what's right or wrong, but they're not heart-centered, and they've forgotten how to honor their hearts and to talk about how they feel. So recently someone tried to advance at me physically, and it was someone that I was seeing before. I was like, honestly, like I deserve better. I was like, I want a guy who's not only hits me up like once in a blue moon and says, hey, come over. You know what I mean? Like, I deserve more than that. I want someone who calls me every day, asks me how I am doing, I want a guy who texts me and cares about me on a daily basis versus like, hey, what are you doing? And it's been 6 months. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I got to a point in my life where I'm like, sure, I deserve better than this. Like, I deserve the world. I deserve the universe. And I feel like you get to a point in your life where you're like, oh, I'm done getting beat up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like done. You're done like being neglected. You're done being abandoned. And you just get to a point in your life where you're like, yeah, I'm ready for the real thing. And I feel like, here's the thing. There's two spectrum of like the whole waiting for marriage. There are people who are like, dude, bless your heart, I'm impressed, like, that's awesome. Then there's the other spectrum of people who are like trying to convince me just to like freaking just have sex before marriage, and I'm just like, or they think I'm lying, which is another thing, because like, why would I lie to you? Like, that makes no sense. Like, who wants to lie to you? Why would I lie to you? Like, do I have an advantage in lying to you? Like, do I, like, get $1 million for lying to you? Like, do I get a plaque for waiting for marriage? Like, I don't get anything from you for lying to you. So, yeah. Yeah, people will be weird. I think because they think it's impossible, but it's not impossible at all. Like, honestly, like, I know it's definitely grace that has given me enough, I guess, discipline. And I just want to say, like, one of the things, how do I explain this? One of the things is, like, I personally look at, is this person gonna be there for me? Or is this just, like, a momentary thing? And that's how I've been able to gauge, like, no, none of these people are really what I'm looking for. They don't give me what I need. They don't give me what I want. They're not there for me emotionally. They don't check up on me. They don't call me. They don't text me. They text me in a blue moon. You know what I mean? It's like, are you getting what you need emotionally from this person? Or is this just like, oh, do you know what I mean? It's like, honestly, it's like, you get to a point in your life, you're like, whoa, you look back and you're like, oh, all of those people were boys. They were boys. A man will do, okay? A man will call you and say, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? They will text you. They will check up on you. They care for you. They reach out to you, okay? They don't ghost you. They don't just, like, hide in their inability to communicate. They show up. And, like, it's like, they show up, dude. They show up physically. They show up emotionally. They show up, and they're not scared to love. And so, that's my little spiel. Like, at first, I was talking about, like, the shit that you hear when you are a virgin. But then now I'm talking about, like, look, ladies, okay? Honestly, like, sure, we want to feel pleasure. But remember, is this, because what you really want is love. What you really want is love. Is this man loving you the way that you need to be loved? Or is this convenient for him? Oh, come over. I have time. I have 30 minutes so that I can just have this momentary pleasure, physical pleasure, and then be like, bye, yo. I have no responsibility to you. I don't need to call you. I don't need to text you. I'm just gonna ghost you. Like, I'm just gonna disappear out of your life. I don't need to. Like, if that's what you want, cool. But if you're tired of that, look, you need to wake up and say, okay, I want to be loved for who I am. I want to be cared for. I want to be protected. I want this person to like show up, like freaking show up, and not like, look, I have talked to so many boys. Okay? Boys don't communicate. Okay? Boys, they hide. Okay? Boys don't say what's on their mind. What does a man do? A man looks you in the eye and says, this is how I feel about you. Dude, like, a man checks up on you. Hey, are you okay? Are you home? Blah, blah, blah. You know, like, they check up on you. Like, and it's like, growing up, I was so used to, like, being neglected that it's like, oh, it's fine. They just, like, called once a month. It's not fine. That's normal. You know what I mean? Like, just, it's like they're showing up for you once a month and they don't even they don't know the ins and outs of your life. That is not enough, my friends. And, like, you get to a point where you're like, no, like, you got to say no to the wrong thing before the right thing can come along. And that is a word for many people out there. Like, you need to stand up for yourself. You need to speak up and say, you know what? I'm done with this bull crap. I'm gonna say no to what I don't want so that the right thing can come into my life. So you've got to say no to the wrong thing before you say yes to the right thing. And it's taken me freaking 32 years of my life to really understand that. And I think God gave me the self-will and even discipline to say no to sex, because I wouldn't have really known what love is, because I am a very sexual person. But I feel like a lot of that has been because I haven't been able to emotionally connect with people or a guy, or to relay how it is that I felt with a guy, because my dad wasn't really there for me emotionally. So if I was to have started out from like on sounds weird, but a sexual foot, like you know, stepping out in terms of like sexuality first versus connection first, then it would have been very damaging. And don't get me wrong, because in my 20s I've had my fair share of encounters without intercourse, right? But just like dating, stuff like that, and realizing like, wow, this is not what I want. Like, these men are not after my heart, they're after my body. And it's like, you know the difference, because hello and goodbye. That's like how fast it is. It's just like, I showed up for a few hours and tomorrow I'm gone. And it's like, you have to get to a point where you're like, oh wow, that's not normal at all. Like, that's not, you know. But I wasn't ready for love then. You know, it's like, because love is very intense. Love comes with the fear of loss, like, and it destroys the fear of loss. Because like today I met like two people who were Christian and Catholic, who like, one, like, her third husband died, and then another girl, like, her husband died as well. And God was just showing me, like, just because you get married doesn't mean that person won't disappear one day. And so the thing is, you have to love without fear. You have to love with all of your heart in that moment, and whatever God gives you, you know, in that moment, that you love with all of your heart, and not kind of think, oh no, like, what if this person disappears? So I feel like a lot of people hold back on love, and they don't express how they actually feel, because they're like, oh, what if that person like rejects me? But you just get to a point in your life where, like, I don't care what you think Okay, I'm gonna express my love to you. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be loving, and I'm gonna like love you. And if you can't receive that, then it's time for you to move on, right? And that's it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Just enjoy one life. Wait, who is this? Wave. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my blog, RebeccaLeon.com. God bless you. Bye. If you'd like to make a donation to this ministry, you can do that on my website. Bye.